All righty, this is very exciting for all of us. Mr. Odom, Mr. Odom, Mr. Odom, our very, very special guest. I'm the stage manager, so I need you to move to your seat to the left next to Mrs. Brown. This is so exciting. Does Philadelphia love its own Leslie Odom Jr.? It is clear, Leslie, as is evidenced by this audience of artists and art teachers and dance teachers and art enthusiasts, that Philadelphia loves you back. Let's salute our very, very special honored guest, Leslie Odom Jr. On behalf of my colleagues, Council Lady Cindy Bass, who chairs the City Council's Committee on Arts, Parks, and Cultural Affairs, and Councilwoman Cherelle Parker, we want to say thank you all for still stepping away from your demanding lives and joining us as we celebrate and lift up Philadelphia's own. For those of you who were not able to witness the extraordinary experience on the stage yesterday, where the mayor and Philly Pops and about 2,000 other Philadelphia citizens celebrated who you are and how you care so much about Philly. And as he said, I make sure that the world knows that I'm Philly first. We appreciate that. Let's salute him. So protocol requires me to acknowledge my colleagues. Every team has a leader, and the leader of our team here in the Philadelphia City Council is our very own dearly beloved President Darrell Clark. We have council members at large. I'm going to ask those of you who are like standing in the front to find a great seat so that those behind you can witness this experience as well. We have council members at large, Councilman David O., Councilman Derek Green, Councilwoman, we cannot assume that folks know who we are. Councilwoman Helen Gim, Councilman David O., Councilman Al Taltenberger, Councilman Derek Green, very, very good. District Council members, Councilwoman Janie Blackwell, where PhilaDanco sits. Councilman Mark Squilla, who hosted us in his councilmatic district yesterday. Councilwoman Cindy Bass, chair of our Arts and Culture Committee. And we'd be remiss not to acknowledge Representative Dwight Evans. Leslie Odom grew up in East Oak Lane, and Representative Dwight Evans has represented that district. I'm missing somebody. And we have here a touch and a taste of Latino world represented right here in Philadelphia City Council, who always brings us the Latino experience, Councilwoman Maria Quinones Sanchez. You all should know that every artist starts with a teacher. And Leslie was delightfully surprised to see his Masterman Middle School vocal music teacher. He sang on her choir. Let's salute his teacher, Gloria Good. Is that awesome? That's pretty awesome. We're delighted in Philadelphia that we have a richly diverse arts and cultural community, and is led by Maud Lyon, who's the president of the Greater Philadelphia Cultural Alliance. Where are you, Maud? Raise your hand. I would be remiss not to acknowledge members of Delta Sigma Theta Sorority Arts and Cultural Committee. The Arts and Cultural Committee is in the house. So I want to thank you all for showing up and supporting and just showing your love for this amazing artist. To all the board members of the Philadelphia Dance Company and the board members of Freedom Theater, why don't you stand as well? Leslie made it clear yesterday, and he lifted up and saluted these two cultural institutions that made a dramatic impact in his learning to become a phenomenal artist. So a word first about arts and culture. Here's what we know. The arts and culture are an engine for economic growth in our city. They have the power to elevate lives. For sure, arts give us the power to educate in really untraditional, unorthodox ways. And above all, the arts and culture are the glue for all of us. And for those of us who love the arts, we know that it takes us to places that only that particular art form can fill. Arts and culture is Philadelphia's renewable resource for personal, civic, and economic growth. Councilwoman Maria Quinones-Sanchez or Councilwoman Janie Blackwell or Councilwoman Cindy Bass can tell you as district council persons how they revitalize our local neighborhoods. They make Philadelphia stronger, and when you think about the number 2 industry in town, which is what? The hospitality and tourism industry, it's the arts and culture that feeds that industry that gives us what we experience every day. Let's welcome the chair of City Council's Committee on Arts and Culture, Councilwoman Cindy Bass.
Good afternoon, everyone. I just want to start by saying that, and I'm going to ask Councilwoman Blondell Reynolds Brown to join me because I would like to give her some acknowledgement because there is no one in the city of Philadelphia who has done more for arts and culture than Councilwoman Blondell Reynolds Brown. And she, that's right. Certainly well deserved. I just wanted to extend my greetings to Mr. Odom as well and thank him for all that he's done, not just on the big stage, but also here in Philadelphia for bringing attention to arts and culture here in Philadelphia. We have so much talent abound, and I'm just so pleased and proud to make your acquaintance and for all that you have done. For those of us who only sing and dance at home, and that's for a reason, we all just really want to extend our greetings and thank you for representing. Thank you so much for being here.
My life was touched by dance, and I'll tell that story later, but I've had such admiration for artists who memorize the script and then read the script like their own. And there's one institution in our city that trains and nurtures young people better than any other. That's my personal opinion. You're going to meet the executive director of the new Freedom Theater there at, where is Freedom Theater? How many of us have been to Freedom Theater? Well, how about Freedom Theater turns out Tony Award-winning artists? How about that? Sandra Horton has been serving as a financial consultant for Freedom Theater for the past 4 years and was named recently the executive director of the organization, the oldest black theater company in the country. That's a little-known history fact. The operations we know are headquartered right there at the historic Edwin Forrest Mansion at North Broad Street and Master Street. And you should know that that Freedom Theater sits in President Clark's Councilmatic District. So she's here to offer her well wishes, to say thank you, and to greet you all. Ms. Sandra Horton, the Executive Director of the new Freedom Theater.
Good afternoon, everyone. It is really my pleasure and honor to be here to greet you in the name of arts and culture, especially African American institutions that have longevity and really turn out and show up and stay here. We stay here. We'll be 50 years old this year. 50 years. And it takes the support of institutions like New Freedom Theater and PhilaDanco, where I got my chops working with Joan Myers Brown, and to turn out, yes. And it takes institutions that have longevity and stick-to-itiveness and staffs that come and stay and go and board members who support you. And just support is what we need. And because we need to be able to support wonderful artists such as Mr. Leslie Odom and wonderful new artists that we bring into the city such as Rajendra Ramu Maharaj, who's now our executive producing and director for this year, guest artistic director. But I want to say just one thing. Arts and culture is everywhere. Your clothes, your house, your car is done by an artist. And we must support artists. And we must support them on a regular, continuous, sustainable basis. Thank you. And we have to recognize the contributions of folks like Joan Myers-Brown, who just sticks it out and produces fabulous artists, like John Allen, who personally told me, you better keep my theater open before he passed. And you just have to recognize art is everywhere. And there are dedicated people in this room who took their lives and said, you know what, I'm going to help the arts. I'm going to be an administrator. I'm going to be a teacher. I'm going to make sure that one day Leslie Odom can win the Tony Award after he came into Freedom Theater and said, I respect myself. Because that's our password. And then we tell you, you are beautiful. And I just want everyone to know, as a little girl, 8 years old, told me, you are beautiful every day. And that's what the arts bring to us every day, beauty and love and self-respect. So I honor Mr. Odom. I thank Ms. Brown for inviting me and opening that door to a college graduate who knew nothing about the arts. And she trained me. And I thank her for it. And PhilaDanco and Freedom Theater, we've been in the trenches. And we're going to stay open and we're going to thrive. And one day people are going to look at us and say, you know, I am going to give them $5 million. They know what to do with it. So I like to close always when I speak about our great mentor and prophet, I call him Nelson Mandela. And Mr. Mandela said, it always seems impossible until it's done. And we do it every day here in Philadelphia. I thank you all and thank Joan Myers-Brown.
My quick story, which speaks to why I adore the Philadelphia Dance Company, is do a rewind. It was my last semester in graduate school, and I had signed up for the Peace Corps. And I called home to tell my mother I had a job and I was not coming back to Philly, wherein there was a deadpan silence. And those who know my mother know that that meant disapproval. So as a 22-year-old, I packed my bags and I moved back home to Philly. And there were two silver linings in that important decision. One was those that I got a chance to run for elected office, never, ever on my radar screen. But secondly, I got a chance to be invited to the Philadelphia School of Dance Arts. I had a girlfriend who said, Blondie, you still love dance. You probably need to come up here and get your body in stronger shape. And so I went to study at the Philadelphia School of Dance Arts as a very old dancer. I didn't start till I was 16 years old. That's not old. That's very old as a dancer. And JB saw something in me and the potential, and she gave me a shot to audition for the Philadelphia Dance Company. And I am here to tell you it changed my life forever. She gave me a chance to live my dream, even as an older dancer. 30 years ago, 30 pounds dinner. Imagine that. But for that, I'm eternally grateful because the PhilaDanco experience is not just about learning dance class, dance technique, dance choreography. It's about learning how to navigate the challenges that life throws at you. For sure, you learn discipline, showing up half hour before showtime, making sure your hair is pressed, right, JB? For sure, learning how to stick to it at the ballet bar until you get it right, right, Vanessa Thomas-Smith? And I'm sure Leslie Odom can give you so many, many other examples. PhilaDanco is run by a board of directors. And we know when your body can no longer perform, what do? You teach. And when you can no longer teach, you try to give back and serve on the board. I served on the board for a number of years, and at that organization for many, many, many years were two mighty leaders. Spencer Wertheimer, our board member emeritus. Say hello, Spencer. And Beverly Harper, founder of Portfolio Associates. Together, Beverly Harper and Joan Myers Brown, Beverly has a way of nurturing seeds of thoughts. And Joan Myers Brown thought to start the International Association for Blacks in Dance. And guess who was right at her right side? Beverly Harper. Let's invite the current chairman of the board to the mic because she is everything that PhilaDanco still dreams to be. Let's welcome Beverly Harper.
Good afternoon. Thank you for being here. For everybody who knows me, you know I can be a little serious at times, and this time is no different. I started a business 45 years ago, and I've continued to provide excellent professional services, continuously employ people, and find time to devote time and resources to our cultural organizations. I supported Freedom Theater for 20 years and have been a supporter of PhilaDanco for 40 years. Leslie, when I saw you win the Tony, I never dreamed that our paths would cross in person. And yet here we are. Thank you for your remarkable career. Thank you for not forgetting about PhilaDanco, Freedom Theater, and Philadelphia. In spite of the challenges of fundraising, these two cultural organizations continue to produce world-class ambassadors for our city. In keeping with the 4th of July, it is only in America that your story and my story could be possible. In honor of your success and that you now have a national platform, I want to challenge you. I want to challenge you to use your talent, your friends, and your resources to help those who helped you. I decided to call on the classic words from The Sound of Philadelphia, written by McFadden and Whitehead, and phrase them in your very successful medium. I'll spare you my singing. When you are on that platform, please tell them, wake up everybody, no more sleeping in bed, no more backward thinking, only thinking ahead. The world has changed so very much from what it used to be. There's so much hatred, war, and poverty. And thinking of our children, you know how to do this, Leslie. Wake up all the teachers. Tell them it's time to teach a new way. Maybe then they'll listen to what you have to say, because they're the ones who's coming up and the world is in their hands. The world won't get no better if we just let it be. The world won't get much better. We've got to change it, Leslie. It's up to you and me. Thank you for being here, and remember what I said. But I want to introduce an extraordinary person. I'm going to introduce her by the numbers. Joan Myers Brown has 3 doctorate degrees. She has 1 medal from the President of the United States. She started the 28-year-old International Association of Blacks in Dance. She has trained thousands of dancers. She has 100 years of educating young people and professional dancers through her school and through the wonderful PhilaDanco. Please come up, Joan Myers Brown.
Wow. Good afternoon, it's afternoon, right? First thing I'm going to say, City Council, y'all owe me big time for this event. Because we were going to have this party at PhilaDanco, and we're going to have Medea there, and we're going to fry chicken. But then we said, there's so many people in Philadelphia that love the arts and love Leslie, and we could not celebrate him without inviting everybody to join us. So I want to thank everyone for coming out today, and let Leslie know Philadelphia loves you back. I was on the train and I read an article that Leslie was interviewed, and he said, you know, why I love Philadelphia. He said, I got my chaps. I learned the hard way at PhilaDanco and Freedom Theater. And I was like, wow, I didn't even know he remembered. Because a lot of people don't remember. I know Lee Daniels remembered. You know, he hosted us and he had us walk the red carpet when he opened the Huntsman. You know, but very few people remember those who helped them. So I just wanted you to come on up here. You know, I had a board member say, we need to do something for Leslie. I said, oh, gosh, he's not going to come. My daughter said, Mom, I know him. I'm going to call him up. He coming. There's my daughter, Marlisa. She got on the phone. She emailed him. Here he is. And I want to thank you for coming. It ain't no Tiffany gift. It's a Tiffany bag. Inside, we have a pair of PhilaDanco cufflinks, and we want you to wear them every time you think of us. Can we applaud Leslie for all the
Okay, so here's what I want to say. There's a lot of people out there. You guys have given me a lot of love today, a lot of support today. I know that people don't applaud always when you come to work and when you do the things that you do. So I recognize that there's really nothing that special about what I do or who I am. You know, it's just that there's a lot of lights that shine on me. So I just want to give honor and respect to this council, to Representative Dwight Evans, to Joan Myers Brown for bringing me here, to the Freedom Theater. Somebody said something to me last night. If I could, I know it's a lot of pictures. Can we, just so that I can see the people? Thank you. Thank you. I just want to say thank you. Yeah, we got enough pictures. This is what I want to say. So last night we had a really good time. A friend of mine said to me, and I didn't want to call her a liar, but a friend of mine said to me, people remember things differently. She said to me, you said to me one time when you were 14, you said, I'm going to be famous. You looked at me and you said that. And I said, I don't want to tell you that you're remembering something wrong, but I think you're remembering that wrong. I don't ever remember wanting to be famous, ever. What I remember is wanting to have the respect and the good graces of Miss Pat Scott Hobbs at the Freedom Theater. What I remember is trying to make an impression and trying to work hard enough in my classes that Joan Myers Brown maybe would say good afternoon to me as she walked to her office. What I remember is trying to work hard enough in my classes and in my studies that possibly, I would get to come to the city council floor and do my speech from the African American oratorical competition, that I would get to read my speech on the council floor. So what I want to say is that the expectation that Philadelphia set for me, the bar of excellence that Philadelphia set for me, is good enough anywhere in the world that I go. If it is good enough in Philadelphia, it is good enough anywhere in the world. And so I'm going to let you go. But you did not have to bring me any cufflinks. What you gave me at 13 years old, 13, 14 years old, because what would happen is at Freedom, when they would see if you had a little, if you needed a little extra training, they would send you over to Danco. for that finishing school, that polish. And, and you guys, I wasn't quite ready, but you guys, not only did you accept me into the training company, but you also, for free, put me into Donald Lunsford's ballet class. And so this is literally what I mean. This is what I mean. It's all been a surprise because, I was just in class trying to do what Donald was telling me to do. When I showed up for my audition for Rent at 16 years old, I didn't think I was going to get it. That was not I didn't go to get that job, but my training was so good that I got that job. And that job led me to Carnegie and led me to everywhere that I am today. So it's all been a surprise. I never intended to be famous. I never intended, you didn't have to give me one more thing. You gave me enough in my training. And so thank you so much for this today. Thank you all so much. I really appreciate it.
Well, Leslie is one of many that come through PhilaDanco and Freedom Theater. And we're going to do many, many more. Here I go crying. But I want to thank Blondell for making today happen. I want to thank Miss Marlisa for having that phone number and hanging in there and being friends with Leslie, my daughter. And I want to ask that the board come up for Blondell. Would like my board to take a picture. I want to thank everyone. Don't forget, PhilaDanco just got a big grant, and we're going to call on all of you to help us match it. So remember the day when I asked you for that $1.98. Thank you so very much.
So if we could invite all the members of the Philadelphia Dance Company board to come forward, you can join and enjoy the entertainment at the Dell Music venue on Friday, July 29th. PhilaDanco will be celebrating the 4th annual Founders Day. So if you've never seen this worldwide recognized cultural institution, you get a chance Friday, July 29th at the Dell Music Center. Board members, if you could stand here front and center with Mr. Odom in the middle, please. And then we will ask members of the Freedom Theater family to position yourselves, be ready to move right in and take photos. We want the Philadelphia Dance Company Board of Directors first. Members, former dancers with the Philadelphia Dance Company. So Mr. Odom will have some time after we finish the formalities over here. Hania, could you get Mr. Odom so that we can proceed?